also, he always comes in the middle of these things anyway.
Yeah, well, we should wait for him.
Nah.
Has anyone checked whether he's coming or not?
Well, he said he would be.
I'll leave a message, see how long he could be.
Anyway, welcome to the Bureau of Barely Acceptable Content podcast. There, I did well this time.
Actually, that is probably the best you've done of that.
Yeah, maybe. Joining me this time is Justin, the High King of the Dwarves.
Wait, what? What? How is the most undwarven player, the one that loves elves to pieces, the Dwarven King?
We got the King of the Woodland Realm, Ollie.
What the fuck?
I'm not okay with this.
No, I'm not either.
Let's trade kingdoms.
Let's trade kingdoms, yeah.
And I'm the Witch King of Agmar.
There we go. That is why we have this situation. The Witch King is in power. We should probably kill him. Should we just knock him off now? And
He can't be killed by mortal man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we're not technically. You're technically immortal as an elf.
Well, see, this is the thing. It's a difficult part in the movies
Yeah.
because in the books, the reason the Witch King can be killed is because of the Dunedain Noldorin daggers that the hobbits have.
Yeah.
And he shanks him with one of them, and it releases the magical bindings, preventing him dying.
Yeah.
Then Eowyn can kill him. In the movies, it's just because she's a wench that she can kill him.
Yeah, it's
Got empowered him.
It's kind of a
Girl power. Stab.
well, it works and it fills in a plot
Well,
device which they didn't put in the beginning because they probably either overlooked it or didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Well, Peter Jackson was trying to be as accurate as possibly. I think it was just a way of streamlining that whole process, just having that no man can kill him,
Yeah.
and therefore...
Because the plus side, Merry does stab him first,
Yeah.
but not with his Noldorin dagger because he loses that when you're.
So yeah, you could be just that no one knows about it, and therefore,
Yeah.
like no one knows about the hobbits anyway.
Still a cool scene though. It's like,
Yeah.
I am no man.
Oh, by the way, I figured out why. Remember the Deathblade Warhammer novel? How that's not as great as like all the other Miles Darkblade novels.
Alright.
So I figured out why it probably went the direction it did. Because I recently got the Reign of Blood comic
Oh yeah,
of
you got
the
that
Miles Darkblade from Warhammer World. And in that, because I didn't know about it, there's like a third chapter I didn't know about. Like after he gets his, after he goes and goes to hunt down Zarkon again, and get his soul back from him, and going through a what's it called, the Screaming God's realm, where he gets cursed again to have Zarkon on him.
Oh, poor mouse.
Yeah, well, that happens. But where it ends is when the Witch King is assaulting the Phoenix Gates, and you got the Nagorites.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah,
Nagor.
yeah.
Well, not Nagor, but like the Black Ark Nagor, where the Witch Lord was. Because Mallard beats them up and takes control of them because they have a bone to pick with him because he killed the Witch Lord. Anyway. Yeah, like, it picks up from there in Deathblade. But the reason why it doesn't work is because it seems like the guy who wrote it didn't read the earlier Miles Darkblade novels. Because the comic came first, and I'm guessing he just read that because it was easy to get into story and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just to get like the most story points. And then read like the what they've expanded on in the novels, which has more nuances. The Witch King actually knows that Malice is possessed by Zarkon at that one point, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that are like expanded on there and not brought in the comic because of course that came first. Nobody thought about it then for years until the novels started coming out, and then they thought, oh, we had to do the bloody Dark Elves against Wood Elf, High Elf thing in the Phoenix Gate, and this is a good point where to pick up again with Malice.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really work because the guy doesn't know as much about Malice's backstory from the novels, but he probably just went through the comic.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's one thing that the Black Library do seem to do occasionally is just not talk amongst themselves or not decide on something.
Yeah.
Like the custodian power level through the background story of Warhammer
yeah,
is all like, so you got Valdor can take out a Primarch.
sure.
You've got Custodian can kill 3 Wordbearer Chapter Masters in a second and
Sure.
thinks he has a decent chance against Lorgar.
Yeah,
To unarmed, malfed World Eater puts his hand through Custodian, pulls out his spine, despite him being fully armoured.
It's whatever the writer needs to happen at the time.
I know, but
Plot device seriously should work along with the fact that Games Workshop the whole theme of Warhammer is everything is so overpowered that something malnourished and shitty shouldn't be able to do that. It's they're trying to put in 8th edition into the books almost in a way.
Well, this was
everything can boot everything, which is stupid.
This is Outcast Dead, one of the older Heresy ones.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
that one.
It's
one
the
that's
fact
not
that it's
good.
just like, oh, here's my Ormorite armor on my Custodian, and oh, this one Marine just put his hand through my chest and pulled out his spine. That seems a little bit excessive.
Yeah, I love it. Well, yeah, that was my point. What did you do with your week, Justin?
My week,
Yeah.
mostly spent at work
Sure.
because that is apparently my life.
Yeah.
Got a week off now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually do something productive.
Yeah.
We should boost to 30k this week.
We should. I can kill your wife's cousin.
Yeah, sure. I'll just kill a few of
It's a
your...
little bit weird. Like I'm
Guardian
going to
studies.
uni more next week than I do like regularly.
This deliberately, didn't you?
This is
No, it's
questionable.
because
You just want to avoid game time.
nah, it's because we got those bloody talks from people from the industry on Monday and Tuesday. Then I got a tutor meeting on Wednesday, and then I got stuff to do with my digital effects guys on Friday.
Well, hey, we'll find time for games.
Yeah, well, but the tutor one is just like an hour or something,
Yeah.
or a little bit less maybe. I can't remember how much.
But yeah,
time I used.
so
Yeah.
mostly spent time at work. Played a little bit of LoL this week. Started doing my ranked games.
Right.
Yeah.
Did 4 ranked games with Jared, and we lost all 4 of those ranked games.
You're
Yeah.
playing with
One
Jared.
on my own, and I won it.
Yeah.
So
There's the hint.
yeah, I'm going to do the rest on my own. And
Or play with me or Paul, because we win quite well now.
no, I just want to play on my own.
Okay.
This way you guys can't drag me down as well. Talking to you, Paul.
Sure.
Yeah, eBay.
Oh, dear,
Um, But yeah, so gonna try and get that done.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I just get ranked above you guys because that's really all I want in life.
Did a ranked game today. I had a really, really cracking good Twitch one where I didn't die till about 20 minutes.
What rank are you?
Bronze 1.
There we go. You stay there.
But yeah, I had a great Twitch game and ended up actually just eating their team gradually as I went, and we won it quite comfortably. But it was interesting because the Vigar support I had Vigar support was okay, but didn't actually want to choose the Vigar, so they didn't actually know how to play Vigar and support. So it was quite entertaining, that game.
Yeah.
And then played with Paul, and yeah, we lost.
Yeah. Well, I'll be online later. We can do some online.
Sure.
Yeah, well,
But,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Otherwise, I have been again rejigging my list for the 40k tournament,
Okay.
which Jared is thrilled about. Although he admitted today he's going to do it as well, so it's not just me. He's rethinking the Mechanicum.
Alright.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, well, we were both getting the feeling that we were sort of min-maxing the army a little bit, like trying to make a really strong army together.
Yeah.
And obviously it is meant to be a friendly tournament. So yes, there are going to be those douchebags there that bring along hyperpower armies,
Yeah.
but we're much more
Yeah.
just along the lines we just want to go have fun.
There's also the element of chance of actually having to fight those people isn't always the case. You have to fight the hyper carry
Yeah.
armies.
So I'm now thinking I'm going to do some custodians, just
Yeah.
because I can get them painted quickly, and they're pretty
You always have a
models.
boner for custodies.
And I do like my custards.
You,
Custard
your
cream
bon-
army is
Well,
tempting.
your boner for custards is just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I'm literally going to be there every single game. I'm going to pop out a packet of custard creams. I'm just going to eat them slowly in front of my opponent just to rub it in.
Sure.
So I've
Brilliant.
got some of the
Have-
new Alaris Terminators. to do.
Have you? Because you also have got the idea of starting Necron. Have you thought about going with Heart of Jad on the new box set?
Oh, we're thinking of doing that.
Because you see, you get those 2 mini knights,
Yeah.
and
I
one of
think
those
he's thinking
Jad,
he might put those in.
There will
Yeah.
be. I don't know if you need 2. I don't know what they're like at the moment, but
Yeah.
they
Well, I
could
think
be
we're
quite-
going to wait till we see the rules.
Exactly.
But we
but-
might do that. And I
They-
might do Necrons.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is just the army of the day. It's
Yeah.
Custodes. It might go back to Raven Guard. I might use my Scions.
Yep.
I might decide to torture myself and try and paint a Harlequin army in time.
Yeah.
It's all up in the air. We don't know what happens.
I don't
Sure.
think you're ever going to paint Harlequin army in time. You'd have to pay Matt to do it.
Or I could just paint them really boringly. It could work.
They're all ghosty with white and bloody what's it?
Actually, that would be
Nah,
quite
like
cool.
Oxa.
Doing a ghost
That's
thing,
what I
aren't we?
did for my Dire Avengers because I got bored of painting Eldar.
Yeah. But don't you need like 3 base colors or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like they want highlights and everything, and you do want to have a pretty army when you go there. That's why I put so much effort into my Dark Angels last year.
Right.
I didn't even see your Dark Angel last year.
I've still got them.
Never seen a picture of them. Never seen to play them.
Pretty army. One of the few I actually finished painting.
Gotta sell my Deathwing office for something. Anyway.
Yeah. What have you done this week, Ollie?
What have I done this week? Assignments, lab work when I could, but then the lab's been closed because this week is come in, students, come from college and try out the university.
Well, it'd be a bit
Fuck
awkward
you.
if they did it next week during race week.
Yeah, it would be, but I'd laugh because I think it would be better timing because then,
Then everyone would suffer.
Yes, exactly. Everyone would suffer and I'd be laughing. No, otherwise, I played some League, done alright, done okay actually. Started playing League again. I haven't played for a couple of weeks. It's been quite fun. Been building up some Mournfang cavalry from the Icewind Salt box. You kind of heard me last week doing some building, and I finished off all of them, although one's already fallen off his pedestal, so I have to put that back on again a little later. What else have I done? Yesterday, because everybody ditched me and left me alone.
Well, we did not ditch you.
I just wasn't invited to your events, your private society events.
There are other people. It's not our fault.
No, they ditched me.
Should we talk about that?
Actually, if you think that's bad, we showed up to the place we were meant to be pretty much on time. They were on time. I was delayed.
We were half an hour late.
Oh, well, there we go. You were like 10 minutes early.
From what the time should have been.
So we got there close enough on time. From that, we then sat around and waited and waited. And an hour later, we get a message saying we decided to go to TGI's instead. Which was just across the road. And like, yeah, it's too busy in there. It's like, but we have a big table with loads of space. It's like, no, it's too busy.
To be fair,
we had to go over to TGI's, which was better. I admit this. It was more fun and everything. But it's just the principle of things. If you organise something, you at least go there first. Yeah. I still don't know how we missed Sean and Danny when they came in.
I don't get that.
So,
wow.
I was going to suggest we actually got Sean in today, but I forgot earlier. Because obviously he was up and he could be special guest star, Sean.
I haven't met Sean, so...
Well, this way you would.
Yeah, it would be nice.
We could have...
I think we've talked to him.
Also, he would have been able to get his Necrons from me, but anyway.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah,
I reminded him.
So yeah, they ditched me, and then as a result, I started binge watching Supernatural because I haven't watched the series, and I decided to start watching.
Where'd you get to?
I think I've got it up on my quietly in my laptop. Not that I was going to watch it until I'm on episode 9. About to start episode 9. So yeah,
I really like Supernatural. The early seasons are fantastic.
Yeah.
Then I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but as it goes through,
I think second season's stronger than the first season.
Yeah, but you get to the point where it's like the best season, and then it sort of feels like they're dragging it out a little bit.
And still going on.
Yeah, even the actors have said this. Like, we're just going to see how long we can keep going. And it's like,
I like the spike in the volume.
Yeah. How many seasons have they done now?
Too many.
I think that's season 13 now.
It's so stupid.
So yeah, I've started that kind of torturous rabbit hole there.
Sure.
To just whiz my way through it for a little bit.
For some reason, it reminds me of Charmed. Remember that show?
Oh, it's so much better than Charmed, though.
Yeah, I know.
Although I did quite like the White Lighters and the Avatars.
No.
Yeah. But otherwise, I have done... Oh, gone to the gym. That's about it. Done. Sorted.
Sure.
Week.
Right.
Oh, and clean the house. I've done a lot of cleaning the house this week.
About time.
Fuck you, Justin. Anyway, Powley, what have you done?
Damn it! I was going to just see how long we could hold the silence before we asked.
I need props. Working on assignments as usual, but what I got to play was Into the Breach, which is a new game from the guys who got FDL, FDL. It's a game on Steam.
But what does FDL stand for?
Faster than light.
Thank you.
Alright, fine. But it's just FDL.
Justin has a point. Not everyone actually...
Yeah, but it's called FDL. No, they don't actually like...
I know it's called FDL, but some people want to know what the movie... Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Let's get not these semantics here. But
yeah. Anyway, it's a turn-based RTS. Well, it's not really real time.
Yeah, it's not a real-time strategy.
It's turn-based strategy where you get 3 mechs and you're fighting against these aliens called the Vec. And the idea is, like how the missions work, is you have to survive for a number of turns. You have a power grid gauge, which carries through every single mission you do in your run of the game. And if that goes at 0, you lose, and you breach the timeline to go back to when things were fine. So, but you can only choose one of your pilots of the mechs to bring back with you, because they level up while you kill things and do missions. Yeah, it's pretty fun, like, because you get to you have unlocks, which you get unlocks, which are the different mech teams. So you get different kind of teams to work with, and different achievements to get with those. What else? You have the 4 islands and a final level island, where you have to clear at least 2 islands to go to the final mission, and it gets harder or easier depending on how much you've progressed. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's easier if it's level 2 or level 4, but I'm guessing it's level, if you've only cleared 2 islands, it's easiest, probably. If you clear island perfectly, you get more rewards. So if you get all the objectives done, and you have achievements like if your mech doesn't get hit by any of your mechs don't get hit by anything, so no damage taken. None of the buildings take damage, because when you damage buildings, that powers down your power grid. So you kind of have to think about it like your positioning and where your shots will throw enemies to.
Yeah. So
that you don't lose or you don't suffer as many losses. So it's kind of like it's not risk management, but it's resource management in a way where you're trying to do the best moves that will lose you the least amount of resources every single game round or whatever.
That's cool.
Well, yeah, that's fun.
We also played Warhammer Online, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a little bit.
Yeah.
That's on a private server now.
And I still can't believe how much extra damage you do compared to me.
Yeah, I know.
Not cool with that.
Apparently, Swordmaster is the most highest DPS tank in the game, or one of them anyway. So I might give that a try. I don't know.
Wait, are you playing good side now?
Well, no, because Justin wanted to play High Elves, and I was like, yeah, alright.
Oh.
We had the choice of what to be, and I was like, High Elves, I'm making him be good.
And which part of playing?
Shadow Warrior.
He went for the edgiest High Elf.
Keeping her with the thing.
Yeah.
What else did I do? Actually didn't play any Kingdom Come Deliverance this week. But actually let me see my Steam, because that usually tells me what I've been doing.
Have you guys finally stopped playing Monster Hunter?
Matt's finally completed it, so he stopped playing, but he started playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 again.
Well, that was always going to happen, but thank God Monster Hunter's not going to pop up anymore. Cool, we can forget that.
Well, Jackbox we played yesterday, and a whole bunch. Yeah, I think that was pretty much.
That, Jackbox thing we were playing, that was really cool.
That is quite cool. I played that with Pally before. Yeah. We had it when your brother was over. That was fun.
Yeah. There's more packs, so I might see when the sale's on to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which ones did you play?
It was mainly just Trivia Murder Party and Quiplash 2.
Yeah. That's quite a fun one.
We tried Faker, but Spot the Faker, but that's not as fun because you have to have people like aware. And I don't know. It's just like it's too easy for the faker to fake it. I find in some situations. But yeah. Shall we talk about the news?
No.
Alright.
Go on then.
So after that.
Sure.
So White Rabbit brings in $1 billion worldwide.
You mean Black Panther?
Same thing.
Yeah, sure. Well, this according to Disney anyway.
They might be a little bit biased. I still haven't actually seen it.
No.
Apparently it's really good.
What's that?
It's
Black Panther.
I think it's overhyped.
I don't think it is, because I think it does.
Yeah, but they're saying it like it sometimes sounds like they're talking about it like it's the next best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, it's a slightly it's not as that good, but I think what they're going for and why it's so good is slightly wrong and right. I don't know how to put it. They're going, oh my god, it's got a huge, massive racial cast that's all fantastic and all, which, okay, yeah, that's great, it's interesting. But I just really enjoyed the whole art style, the colour, the music was fairly good. I did like the combat scenes and the kind of tech and stuff, and I liked the way they kind of directed it through. The storyline was weak, as we've already discussed, but
I did nothing new.
yeah.
No innovation there. But we've kind of talked about this for like 2 weeks
We have
already.
yeah. Although, to be honest, the fact we have talked about it for 2 weeks just shows how well
No,
it's
it's
stayed
just
in our
because
minds.
it's just because no, I'm just bringing it up because it's in the news.
Thing is, I've actually thought to myself a couple of times.
I've kind of just forgotten about it.
I've
Afterwards.
actually thought to my couple of times, I want to watch it again. That's how much
I don't need
want
to watch it again.
The last movie I watched, I thought I want to watch this again, was Thor Ragnarok,
Yeah,
and that
sure.
was worth watching again.
it
So-
doesn't beat Thor Ragnarok. But then the thing is, to try and beat Thor Ragnarok, you have to be.
To be fair, it's
very
also an
good.
establishing film
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the Wakanda stuff as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I did like that. The about a week after it came out, they did this thing where they were going around just asking people what they thought about the political situation in Wakanda. And it was like, oh, it's terrible. Yeah, I can't believe the UN's let it get that far and everything like that. It's like, it's not a real place.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just Jesus Christ, people. just.
Yeah, it's like
Graves.
when bloody was it Avatar? Yeah, Avatar as in the
Oh, yeah.
not the Last Airbender, but the other one with the blue people. Like people wanted to live there.
I want to live in Pandora.
Yeah, like
It's got glowy plants and big blue people that want to kill
some
me.
people. Some people.
yeah, that's not really a news story, but I just wanted to look at it. So they gave Devil May Cry, the first one, HD, free for Twitch Prime subscribers. Only problem is it has frame rate problems.
Yeah.
Because of course it does. It's a bloody like early 2000 game on PlayStation 2.
There was I actually read some game news earlier.
Yeah.
Something with Battlefront 2. Apparently someone exploited a bug in the game,
Yeah.
sent the video into EA, and EA posted it to their Twitch or something saying this is an amazing play, it's like Play of the Week or something,
Sure.
by exploiting a bug.
Sure.
So
It's not a bug. It's a feature.
There was an interesting one actually in the news about a team that were playing PlayerUnknown's Battleground. They were playing in the competitive rounds and they actually got banned and they got their win removed because they exploited a bug, and it just shows like how easy it is for people to play games and win in lots of different games at the moment just because of bad bugginess and bad.
yeah, well, it's
Coding
like those people that
scripting.
do speed runs of those
Yeah.
old games. It's like find the bugs and then exploit them. If you miss it by like half a second,
It's still
then
happening
restart it.
in like Prey 2017 one. You can find ways of like getting to the final area in like 7 minutes or something.
Which I just don't see the point in. I mean,
I'd rather see like you going through it properly as fast as you possibly can,
yeah.
Yeah.
like beating all the Dark Souls bosses or something.
Did you actually beat that Dark Souls boss in the end?
Which one? I mean, Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I haven't got around to it. I beat another one because my build's better geared for the other bosses.
I liked that every time we looked up, I went, oh, Pally's gonna die. You then drop dead, and you're just getting faster and faster in that. Nope, restart. Nope, restart. Nope, restart. And it's like, fuck
Actually,
this, I'm stopping.
Here's something interesting in the news. There was a player one, I think I sent it to Powley, about a guy who's played
Oh yeah.
all from start to finish all the Dark Souls without being hit.
All the Dark Souls, or just the one of the
No,
Dark
all
Souls.
three of them.
Alright.
He played it, and it's taken him 3 years to do this accomplishment where he's played through all the Dark Souls and won the game without being hit. And he's had, and it showed some of the clippers of the times where he's lost, and every time he actually did die, he restarted from the beginning.
See, the main thing I see with that is a good achievement. Was it
Brilliant.
worth 3 years of your life?
For him, he was getting streaming, so he's getting paid. So I suppose in a way it's his job.
True, but even then, was that worth paying someone to do?
Apparently so, because people did, and he did it. And he earned the money to survive all the way up until that point.
I kind of feel like I should make a LOL account where all I do is stream, and I never attack a champion. All I do is attack
Wait, are
jungle
you
creep.
playing Ivan?
Yeah, basically just play Ivan, just attack the jungle things, run away from fights, just do that. People would probably love it.
Possibly.
It'd be like watching Jared play.
So George R. R. Martin is gonna stop blogging so he can focus on work.
Oh, finally.
And finally, published that bloody book
Laws of
novel.
Winter.
Yeah.
I'm generally starting to wonder if we'll ever see the end of the Game of Thrones series.
Oh, well,
in
he
book
knows
form.
what he wants. He's written it out kind of consistently.
A ghostwriter could finish it, but I want him to finish it. Otherwise, there will be a change in the way it's done.
Mm.
because like end of Wheel of Time, you'll notice there is the change in the 3 books.
I still have to get back to reading it from the beginning all the way up to the end, because as you've told me, that apparently get better at the end.
Yeah. But I think you start at the beginning, it's good. You have the middle where it's got good stuff, but it drags. And then the end, where in the last 3 books, it's just kind of awesome.
Oh, and he's been working on the bloody 2-volume encyclopedia for the Fire and Ice saga or whatever.
Stop milking the money and release the damn book.
Yeah.
Honestly, you weren't planning on doing this when you wrote the books originally. How many years ago?
Yeah.
Because I remember reading it before it even came into TV. I read it long time ago. About when did I read Game of Thrones first time? I think I was about 11. First time I started reading Game of Thrones, because the books are very old. The
So that
originals.
was last year, right?
Yeah, I am actually 11-year-old in my 25-year-old body. Yeah.
So Smash Bros is coming to Switch, because of course it is, because it's on every bloody Nintendo system, a new one. But I do like is like the memes that people have come up with, where they have different things in the Squid Kid's eyes, like the Berserk, the sacrifice scene, like with the moon, eclipsed moon, the Bloodborne moon, and like a whole bunch of different things, just replacing it.
I'm surprised someone hasn't done a bloody Full Metal Alchemist, just the homunculi.
Possibly get on that.
No, I don't really want to. That's depressing enough.
And also because Dark Souls is coming to the Switch, you get the Solero Estora amiibo. It's actually a thing.
Oh, okay.
Praise the sun. Praise the sun.
Apparently that unlocks the gesture to do Praise the Sun at any point in the game. Okay.
Okay, so either you grind for the game and get it naturally, or
Well, actually,
buy
you
an amiibo.
just get it through doing a few things, but you don't have to grind for it. You never have to grind for anything really, except Souls, if you really want to.
Or Satan.
No. There's this new board game on Kickstarter called Brutality.
Right.
And I just brought this up because it's made its money in like 29 hours.
Is it about making peace?
No.
Because it sounds like it'd be about making peace.
Yeah.
Sure, no. It's got this kind of Darkest Dungeon aesthetic, but it's mostly a character-based, I'm guessing a kind of dungeon crawler thing. Apparently it takes, say, 30 to 60 minutes to play.
Is it a board game?
It is a board game.
No.
I just brought...
You can tell from the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was looking and watching and hadn't seen the board yet.
Yeah. What I want to point out is that Kickstarter usually does really, gets board games do really well on there for some reason. Because usually they don't ask for much anyway for development costs, because you're not software developing, you're just making the board, you're making the rules, you're making the models.
Yeah.
And then you just need the people to back it. And then
cool.
there you go.
No, it looks good. It does look good, actually.
Comes out next year, June or something.
Oh, I hope it's worth everyone's. Oh, look,
Oh,
Dustin.
yay.
Monster Hunter World has been the most successful Capcom game ever now.
That really just makes me think that Capcom has been running on bankrupt for the last few years.
Pretty much.
They've keep on releasing those Resident Evil games as remakes.
True.
And some of them are good, some of them are not. So yeah, they sold about 7.5 million copies now. And what's been nice is that they usually release a item pack for people every single time they make a benchmark. And so you get more items for where you gave them money for them being successful with this one. I just want to bring up that Baldur's Gate, which is a CRPG, so computer role-playing game, is on the iOS and Android phones.
Yay!
And this is a new release which comes straight to the Android and iOS, and I'm guessing it's coming to PC as well. I was a little bit interested, so I actually got the Baldur's Gate on my phone because it was on sale for €2. I was like, okay, I can make some D&D characters in here. You can use a Blackguard, which is nice. Which is like the Dark Knight thing. So what else? Vermintide 2 came out.
As I keep repeatedly hearing from our housemate who's bought the game, it is apparently epic, and apparently is doing really well. Actually, people are really enjoying it more than the original one.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more open. The art style is nicer than the original one.
The only thing I've heard about it, in any way good or bad, is that it is released. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
It's just basically another Vermintide, is all it is.
I think it's developed that sort of cult following now, where they don't communicate with the rest of the world, but they just do things on their own and
Yeah, pretty
Try
much.
not
I
to be
agree with
noticed.
you on that one.
Yeah.
But from what I'm seeing and listing in the couple of reviews I've seen of it, it does. I've seen some of the gameplay and it does look nicer. Does look like they've taken to heart what the cult following, as Justin calls it, have said about the game originally and what could do with improving. And they've also made the map design a little better as well. It's no longer very linear, because you always felt like you're always following the same direction,
Yeah.
whereas the new one is very much an open map, much larger maps. And the fact that you have two factions now, both Chaos and Skaven, is quite cool actually,
yeah.
because you get a bit of different kind of gameplay, and the character development is actually better, I'd say, as well. It's nice that you actually have a bit
Yeah.
more character development than what you had originally.
Because I did enjoy the original Vermintide, but I enjoyed it for about 3 hours, and then you've basically done everything you can on there, and it's just
And then just regrind through on the next
Yeah.
level of difficulty, and the next level of difficulty, until you get to the point where you've got to the ultimate level of difficulty. You complete the whole thing with every single option possible, like you get all the books and crap, and then you're done. And what's the point in carrying on?
yeah.
Whereas this one looks like it's going to be much the same, although it has a bit more storyline to it. It's a little bit more different than
But I think if it's a bit more open world and freeform, then it's better because
it's
you can
not
change it up a
fully
bit.
open. It's not open world in the sense, but the maps which you go to for missions are a lot more open plan. There's a lot
Yeah.
more. You have fields and things. You have woodlands to go through. You have a lot. The graphics are definitely improved. It's no longer kind of you're stuck in a dreary, dingy city. You're going about the place, doing a little bit more exploring. A few of the things that kind of annoy me are they got rid of kind of the stats. You can't really review your stats and kind of meta, which I know is really petty because you don't really need to meta. But sometimes when it comes to choosing what you're going to use as a weapon, you can end up picking up a really cool looking weapon, but it could just be really crap. You just don't know it because they don't tell you the
Always
details
go with
about
the
it.
coolest looking weapon. Rule of cool is more important than whether it actually works or not.
Yeah,
While more that it feels good to use.
yeah, that's true. That as well.
So you remember that Chrono Trigger thing that came on PC like 2 weeks ago?
No.
Nope.
Okay, sure, I mentioned it, but
I wasn't
anyway,
here.
yeah, you probably
You don't
were.
have Jared this time.
Yeah. So, Jared's on here.
Yeah,
Jared. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
Jared, how's it feel to be on that side of the mic?
anyway, the because it was such a bad port, it's got modders in to try and fix it. There's a whole
Wow.
big thing about like people on Twitter modding it and like making it better overall. So what I just wanted to bring up was that like when there's a good game like people have attachment to, they will usually go and mod it to fix most of it.
Yeah.
Like bloody Knights of the Republic 2 Sith Lords is much better now and less buggy than the first one because people have liked the second one more and have tried to fix it since like it came out or something. But yeah.
So in that picture looks like Megamind.
Yeah.
So there's this game called Phoenix Point that's coming out. It's the same guys who worked on XCOM, Enemy Unknown, and what's the other one? The XCOM 2 as well. Apparently it's got a little changes, like it's an evolution of it because they've been looking at what they could do more with it. And like visually it's better because of course it is because it's after a while. It's supposedly comes out this year in December. So still a while. It's a ways away. But yeah, that was kind of just interesting to put in. Maybe. I don't know.
Fair enough.
So Valve is finally going to make some more games. Finally.
Yay!
One of the things that they got is Artifact, which is I don't really know what is it. It's a Dota themed card game.
Oh.
So that's the only thing they've kind of been working on. For some reason, like there's a lot of card games going around now.
It's a very popular kind of scene to go into.
People
nowadays.
like collecting things.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Gabe looking a lot older.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. So, there's this film called Annihilation that came out in theaters like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing was it didn't do so well in the States, which means that they pulled it from theaters and are releasing it on Netflix. So I think it came out today on Netflix. It's weird thing is it's got an all female cast, but no one's talking about it because of that. Like it's a good film apparently. Like you see, it's got like high reviews, but for some reason no one's talking about it. Because I would think that's because American public go to theaters just to see like your popcorn.
Yeah, their favorite actors. Yeah.
And
Are there any like well-known female actors in there? Or?
Natalie Portman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm surprised then. Usually they just go, "Oh, it's a big name. I'll go see it."
Yeah. Or like some superhero thing just to see and be in the theater. Yeah. While those people who are like watch films for like the art of it are home watching Netflix.
Yeah.
But then in Europe, people actually want to watch these things in theaters.
That's because you lot are weird and sociable, and you like to go sit in a room with other people
and look at good films that are not just popcorn fillers. like the most of the bloody
like
Marvel
Black
universe.
Panther.
Well, yes, it's pretty much that. But anyway, yeah, there's a whole bunch of those. Like this came back to Black Panther for a minute. Like people switch their loyalties on a flip of a coin in that film. Here's the guards. We don't like him because he didn't catch the guy, so we're gonna do another thing. Oh look, we're supposed to be following this one guy because of our original tradition. Oh look, we don't agree with him, so we're gonna switch sides again. So,
fair enough.
But anyway, on to Warhammer news a little bit more.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll talk about maybe PC stuff again. I don't know.
So I hear the salmon fishing has been very good this year, and that is why the tower have come back.
Sure. Only thing we're getting is the codex and data cards
so far.
Yeah, but there haven't really been any. What's the word?
Leaks and stuff.
Well, not leaks, but no models this week,
Yeah.
which is what I usually like to look forward to more than the books and rules, unless they come with models.
Well, they do seem to be doing quite a good job on the tower rules so far.
Yeah,
Like limiting commanders to one per detachment,
sure.
and apparently they're going to fix the Riptide. So apparently, at the moment, there's no point taking a Riptide over a Storm Surge.
Right.
It's like 50 points, but the Storm Surge is vastly better.
Yeah,
So they're making the Riptide cheaper and better, which seems like the wrong way to go around it.
maybe just marginally better that you would consider getting it as well as a Storm Surge, or just in a smaller point game, you'd take the Riptide route and Storm Surge. I don't know. I'm just going to play Suits again because that's what I do.
Yeah.
In Forge World news, we got the spears for Custodes.
Yeah.
And a Shield Captain.
Yay.
Another one.
Yay!
And Valdor is on pre-order. Yay! Yeah.
I very much want Valdor. I know quite a few people who are very iffy about the model, saying it's too busy and stuff, which I
Sure.
can see. It does look a little bit busy in the pictures.
I think it was fine.
But that's the thing, in like person, it looks really nice. It's quite balanced.
Yeah, I would say like most of the time the pictures don't do the models justice.
Yeah.
Usually either because the paint scheme doesn't do it, or the painter hasn't done as good of a job, or just doesn't look as good as in person.
Yeah.
Well, there's many reasons why he wouldn't do that. But
Also, he's one of the Emperor's BFFs. He's meant to look fucking shiny.
yeah.
Because I'm shiny.
Sparkle like a diamond in the rough.
Hey, we don't want to get more copyright strikes. But we haven't got copyright strikes, we don't want any.
Cease and desist.
Sure.
No.
In League of Legends news, we got a new champion, Kai'Sa, that came
Who
out this
is
week.
Awesome.
Sure.
Ollie just needs to learn to play her.
Oh.
Everyone does.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember me and Paul taking her on opposite teams,
Yeah.
doing that game. It's like, yeah, we'll see what she does. and I go AP and he goes AD, and we're still not sure like what was working better.
Well, she's a hybrid, so
Wait,
Yeah.
are you sure it's Paul, not me, you're fighting against?
Yeah, because I was playing against Paul. You were on his team,
Yeah, I was playing Kaiser
but
against
then I
somebody
left
with
to go to
Kaiser.
work
I was playing Kaiser.
against Jared.
Was it Jared I was playing
Yeah.
against? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I beat Jared. even
Yeah,
though we
she does
lost the
seem really
game.
cool. I need to actually play her a little bit more.
She's cool. I need to practice some more before I take her into a ranked game, but I really want to take her into a ranked game.
Do it.
Sure.
You're in bronze 1. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's true.
it also does highlight a thing in League where a new champion comes up and then everyone bans it.
To be
Yeah,
fair, they
that
are
was annoying.
usually overpowered.
Not all the time.
Do you remember Zoe when she first came out?
Well, yeah, but that's Zoe. Swain wasn't overpowered as much. He's much better now.
Now that he's not just been released, and he's less overpowered. You mean? So he was
No.
a little bit of
No, they've increased like different things for him, like the range of his W, the range of his E, and then like made it so that when he does his R, it needs less health to proc the second surge of damage. But yeah,
But yeah, usually the thing has gone when a new champion comes out, they're overpowered for 2 to 3 weeks until they get nerfed, just because
Sure.
they want to make sure everyone buys them, and then everyone just permabans them for a couple of weeks.
yeah, I don't enjoy that. Shall we go to emails?
Yeah.
Sure.
We got one.
Yay!
From Paul.
Hey, Paul again.
He says, I have a serious question. Can you think of a book that was worse than the movie remake? Also, if you're going to reading the whole email out loud, as Pauli said before, kaikki suomalaiset ovat puidenhalkimia hippejä, and Jared's home is bronze 1. Love all you geeky idiots.
Oh, I'm not sure about loving us. Jeez.
Yeah.
A little creepy.
Well, he's only talking to us. Jared isn't here, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
can you think of a book that was worse than the movie that it was based on?
The Bible.
Yeah.
Controversial choice. Moving on. I don't know what book would we.
Is there a book that's worse than the movie? Oh.
The only thing that kind of comes close maybe is like V for Vendetta, but I still prefer the graphic novel to the movie because of the themes that is brought up in the comic or graphic novel.
I've got it.
Yeah.
Bad movie, even worse book. 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Purely because at least in the movie, it takes less time to get through it.
Also, people were trying to get work after they made that film, so I would think they would put a bit more effort than the original author.
Yeah.
But is there anything else? Book that is worse than
There was that.
film.
It's not quite a movie, but they did an hour-long feature advert for the Wheel of Time a couple of years ago.
Oh god, that was
Atrocious.
that was atrocious.
But they did it on a rush, on a very low budget, just to try and make sure they didn't lose the rights.
Yeah, which is the depressing thing.
The Shining?
'Cause I'm shiny.
The movie was really good. The book was, yeah, actually I could see The Shining as being a bit of a better movie than the book.
Or can we just say all Stephen King novels are better as movies?
No, some of the movies.
Nah, actually no, because we got bloody Langoliers and what's the one where the machines wake up and try to take over? Can't remember what's it called.
Terminator.
No, that's not it. Sergeant Troopers probably.
That movie
But-
was fantastic.
yeah.
You can't deny that.
Lord of the Rings?
I think the movie's pretty good.
Yeah, but is it better than the books?
No.
No, those books are literally like timeless classics.
Well, yeah, sure.
I'm a little bit biased because I love them, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's a toughie. There aren't many that I would think would be no, there are not many. There are no words today. There are not many books that are worse than no movies, but I think it seems like it depends on the director.
I'm getting abuse hurled at me by Paul for watching 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay. Right now?
Yeah.
You just tell him.
Nope. He literally just did that, so I'm guessing he's listening live.
You can't listen
Why
live.
is he
We're
listening
not.
live. We're not live.
He gets the live version of the podcast.
How does he do that?
He'll tell us in a minute.
Yeah, alright. Oh, is he in bloody Twitch? Yeah, he's in bloody
No, my
Twitch, and then you're still on Twitch, and then.
No, I swear I came off Twitch.
Oh, Ollie's in chat apparently.
Yeah, I thought so.
What a crap.
So this is what it's like being on Twitch streams.
Does that mean that we can now charge Ollie with a IP infringement because he's stealing our stuff?
Not really.
I'm part of it.
Yeah.
So, Michael.
Funny.
We should hold them headphones up to the microphone so Paul can be part of it.
Oh, this is going to be a really short
I forgot I
podcast.
was in there.
Because we don't have to deal with Jared constantly blithering on about stuff.
No,
Yeah,
maybe.
Jared. Bloody Jared.
So, on to our weekly 30k Legion review.
We're doing the lamest Legion.
You mean one of the better ones?
I'd
The
say
lamest. They're the one that cocked up the entire setting and made us as grimdark as it is today.
I thought it was Horace who did then.
Horace was just manipulated badly because he's a bit of a child.
Sure.
Magnus just fucked up epically.
Alright.
But yes, we're doing the Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
Yay, they suck.
So their special rules are that they need to have a Psyker be the warlord, and has to have at least level 1 level in Psychic Mastery.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Also has to be the highest leadership.
I wonder if that ever happened. With all their mutation stuff, do you
Yeah.
reckon there was ever a pariah Thousand Sun?
Oh, God.
Because that would be hilarious to see what they all did.
Oh, I don't know. Because it would have been mentioned, I would think.
But maybe they didn't want to mention it.
Or they're so psychically attuned that they never brought up because there's too much on that side of the scale.
But there are Thousand Suns that aren't psychic.
Yeah.
So it could be.
Well, I think they're all somehow a bit psychically attuned. That it's just they don't have
Well, it's
the raw
supposed to be
strength
like
for some.
all humans are psychically attuned.
Sure.
The Thousand Suns that ended up getting turned into dust by Aravan.
Yeah. That was because they didn't have enough psychic
Yeah, they
power.
weren't strong psychers, so
Yeah.
there could be the chance they might go the other way.
Prospering lore. Thousand Sun Psychers that have access to all disciplines other than Malefic Demology. And any demonic character... Demonic? HQ independent character may buy Master level 1. So you can have any single type of HQ choice. And give it level 1 psychic in any... what's it called? Mastery. Not mastery, like... What's it? Psychic
Discipline.
tree. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
psychic discipline.
Which is cool, because, they did
Very
study
cool.
all of them. But... yeah, there's nothing really bad about that. It is fluffy for the Legion.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
They can also exchange their power swords for force weapons.
That's pretty powerful.
And fair.
But I would still take a Paragon Blade.
But that's not a power sword.
Yeah, but it costs more points, of course.
Yeah, but you can't change it for a force weapon.
No. Well, you can still get it. Like, you can upgrade for 25 points.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, you take your Paragon Blade because you want the AP 2.
Sure.
You take your force
And
weapon
plus one
because you want
strength.
instant death.
Alright, sure. So the Cold Arcana, which is the cults that,
Prospering cults.
well, that the Thousand Suns have, and they focus on different psychic disciplines. And they give different buffs depending on what your warlord is. So the Pavoni, which I can't remember what they are, Biomancy.
Yeah, they're the Biomancer dudes.
They get +1 to all run and sweeping advanced distances. And Psychers can harness warp charges for Biomancy on a 3-up instead of a 4-up. You got these for pretty much all of the cults, where you get +1 to harness the warp, depending on what cult and what discipline you're going for. So +1 to run and sweeping advance.
It is actually pretty strong
Yeah.
because it makes you more likely to run people down, especially if you're up against things like Salamanders who have -1.
Right.
So you can just run them bastards down
Sure.
Yeah.
as they fail to run away after a lost combat.
Sure. Raptora. Yeah, what are you going to say?
Oh, I was just about to say, the thing is with the salamanders again is it's going to be very difficult to make salamanders run.
No, it isn't.
Well, they're on one die. They can re-roll one dice.
Yeah.
They're usually leadership 9 or 8, or depending if they have someone else, they are leadership 10.
If they've got to get double ones, that reroll's not going to help that much.
No, not really.
True. I suppose, but
And they would usually, they're like, what's the bloody guys, lizard men in
Yeah.
Warhammer
Yeah,
Fantasy.
Cold-blooded. 3d6 for your tests.
yeah,
Yeah.
36 you test take the lowest two.
On average, you get 11, and you'd think you get a 4 or something in there. You take the 4 out, and you get 7. So you're usually fine.
Mm.
Well, you're less likely to run away, and you're immune to fear anyway. So.
Less likely to run away than my bloody Chaos Army was.
Well, yeah. Raptora. They are the telekinesis guys. They give a 6-up invulnerable save or +1 to invulnerable saves when they already have one.
Yeah, see, that's the really strong one.
I like that one.
I wonder why. Is it because you like your 3-up invuln on your Terminators?
Yes.
Shocking, man.
And then you can also then take. I actually haven't looked at the psychic powers for a while from the new rule book.
Yeah.
But you used to be able to, because the wording is choose from, which means like you pick them. Or
Yeah, that has. I still maintain that's a typo because
Yeah,
why
I
would
know.
the Terminators be better at magic than literally all the Primarchs?
Yeah, I know. I'm guessing it was because that book had lots of typos anyway,
Yeah.
like Dark Fire and Dark Flame. Like what did it say?
And the Misericordia.
Oh,
not having
yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
Well, I just want an FAQ.
But anyway, I usually take this for my Terminators just because it's fun to have. Well, you used to be take Levitate and then Psychic Barrage or Storm or what it was called.
Psychic Maelstrom.
Yeah, that's the one. And that was just funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here. And now I'm done. Yay. But I like that one. Corvidae, which is the divination one, yeah. So you get to reroll 1s to hit with shooting, and you get divination on a 3-up. It's useful if you have a whole big bolter army or
Yeah.
veterans.
Or heavy support weapons like las cannons and stuff.
Yeah,
The things you really want to hit with.
yeah. Athenian, which is adamantium will and immune to fear.
That one I don't think is that useful.
It can be useful, but it's not as good as the
Yeah.
rest of them.
That's the thing, it's not one you'd sort of build your list around.
No, unless you go for a really fun like thematic army,
Yeah.
because you could just take Psychic Scream and just have fun with that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Psychic Scream, and I'm getting it. Yeah. Also, you can take Amon because he takes from both divination and telepathy.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later when we talk about him. Also, it's pretty useful against Night Lords and Word Bearers
Yeah.
because they cause fear most of the time.
It'll be more useful when the Demon Codex comes out.
Yeah, that too.
Mm.
Pyre, which use pyromancy. You can make Hammer of Wrath attacks on the charge, and if you already have one, you get to make another one.
Good for assault squads and bikes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't see that getting used much because pyromancy's never really used.
Yeah, not really.
I don't know. It could be quite an effective force you bring. Just 1,000 Sun Spikes would be pretty damn.
Maybe
nasty.
against like Solar Auxilia or the Cult armies.
True.
More damage.
But again, that's more the sort of tailoring a list side of it than building all covers one.
True.
It's not one that sort of stands out.
Well, alright.
That's where the Raptora one sticks out so much. Is it's
Yeah,
sort of like,
yeah,
it's good against everything.
sure. Signs and Portents, which is once again we're off the cults and now it's back to general rules. Signs and Portents. If for some reason you suffer a wound from perils of the warp, with every unit in the Thousand Suns army with the Thousand Suns about to start his Thousand Suns rule, have to take a leadership pinning check. And if the impending character in the army is slain, it means -1 to the leadership of everyone.
I like that because in the fluff they sort of pool their power and channel it through each other.
Yeah,
So if you suddenly take out like the capstone,
yeah,
there's going to be lots of stuff just
Sure.
flying around. All go, oh my god, what are we doing?
Oh, and then they can't make any sweeping advances after that as well.
Yeah.
If you're like Warlord dies, I think.
Because they become little bitches.
Yep.
Ha, you admit it.
Well, you just have to kill all of them. Or, well, get them to... One of them to... what's it called? Miscast, somehow. Well, not miscast. Peril.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if you're throwing enough spells around to be Thousand Suns, you're going to peril eventually.
Well, yeah, but that's why you get the item, which we'll get to later as well.
Yeah.
Rites of War, the Axis of Dissolution. That's the Rite of War. It makes everyone automatically pass their morale and pinning test from any objective. It's okay, like it's not world breaking.
Still pretty good.
Caustic of Grace, you get to Overwatch on ability skill 2. So you're hitting on 5s instead of 6s, which is...
That's actually pretty useful.
And then Thousand's reroll to hit and to wound against enemies that are falling back. It doesn't happen a lot though.
No. Generally, if something falls back, it's getting chased down in combat.
Yeah. Also, the restrictions that this Rite of War comes with are if you take a troop choice or any troop or any unit size, you have to take the maximum size of that unit.
Oh.
That'd be hilarious for just spamming tactical blobs.
Yeah. And you can't have more vehicles than you have infantry. But that's usually how I run armies anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm fine usually. Guard the Crimson King, which is the one that is always good to have. You get to make when you're generating warp charges, you get to roll 2d6 and pick the highest one.
Stupid Magnus.
Briefed independent characters and Terminators get Deep Strike, and on the turn they turn up they get Fear, and reroll 1s on the invulnerable saves. So you're only losing on 2s most of the time if you take like the stuff that is useful to get a pre-up invulnerable save. Sekhmet Cabal Terminator units, or Scarab called whatever you want to call them. You can take them as troop choices, and you have to take them as compulsory troop choices.
Oh no. Compulsory Terminators.
Yeah,
What will I do?
I don't know. And then Magnus can be your HQ choice. So you can have an open slot for your Lord of War with something else.
Put a real Primarch in there.
Or the bigger tank, Baneblade or something.
Yeah.
You must have Magnus, Ironman, or level 3 Predator as your Warlord. A little bit annoys me because you can't take Amon. And then
True. But he's only level 2, isn't he?
he's level 3.
Oh, okay. That's probably an oversight then.
Yeah, maybe. No more vehicles and infantry. Well, once again, and then you can't take any allies. But then again, you've already got like all the good units in there as troop choices.
Yeah.
Why do you need allies?
And Magnus.
Yeah. And then you can take another Lord of War choice as well, so yeah. On to the War Gear. Arcane Litanies. You get to ignore the first peril of the warp, which means you're safer.
Yeah, you're very unlikely to peril too often in the game.
As long as you're like...
Careful.
If every Psyker has one, squads can't, which might be where the peril of the warp come from.
Yeah.
But usually it's borrowed of Psykers, so you just lose morals. And you take a leadership test. But if you have these on every single character, you're less likely to get perils, because the way you do it is like 1 in 6 chance if you have like 6 Psykers, let's say.
Yeah.
Well, not 1 in 6, but there's a chance in one of them is. And then you use the Arcane Litanies with that one. Then you have those other ones who you hope you'll peril with.
Yeah.
Rather
So
than that one again.
Once you peril with one psyche, you focus most of your dice through the others. Not
Yeah.
him.
You got the Ether Fire Cannon, which is 10 points more than a Plasma Cannon.
Or Soul Blaze.
Yeah, it's Plasma Cannon with Soul Blaze. 10 points for Soul Blaze, probably not worth it.
It's definitely not worth it. How many times do we remember Soul Blaze?
I don't know. I always forget about it with... forgot about it with... what's the thing?
I used to forget
Inari,
with my
yeah.
Zine Charmy, which is depressing.
Yeah.
Like, what's your main thing, Warfire? What do you forget, Warfire?
Yeah. Then you got the Asphyx Shells, which are... You get Shred to bolt weapons for 10 points.
which is cool.
for independent characters.
I don't really get why they have them.
But it's just fun. I like it. Just give it to, you just get the you put on bloody what it's called veterans, and then you just rerolling ones,
Yeah.
and then you just have fun with that because you're going to be wounding on 4s anyway.
Yeah.
You get to reroll 1s, therefore you get more likely to get 6s to
Rend.
rend, yeah. And then you also get, you just make a marksman for the sniper. Then the relic, which is a strength 10 AP3 salvo weapon, but it wounds against leadership, not toughness.
Ah.
So most of the time you'll be hitting wounding on 3s or 2s
Yeah.
on leadership 9 and 8 things.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's alright. But I probably wouldn't go for it most of the time.
Yeah.
Phasm Predators are all psychics. You have to buy mastery levels for them up to mastery level 3. And yeah, I usually take mastery level 3 just to get the Guard of Crimson King, Rite of War.
Yeah. To be fair, I think the best thing about Psychic Praetors is the ability to take Biomancy on your combat beat stick.
Yeah.
Iron Arm and Warp Speed would be hilarious.
Oh jeez, can you imagine that on a bloody? Can you?
You can do it on Magnus.
Can any Praetor? No Praetor. You have to be only.
A Predator cannot be upgraded to console.
Yeah. No, you can't. That's a shame.
No.
But you imagine that sticking that on something like a Blood Angel. That'd be just disgusting.
Yeah, but why would you want to play a Blood Angel?
Well, Blood Angels are cool.
Yeah, but you wouldn't need the +1 to wound.
Thousand Terminators and Veterans can take mastery levels of 1, but they become a Brotherhood of Psychers. That's all. You get more psychic dice anyway, so that's always fun.
It's all about psychic.
Osiron Dreadnought, which is
Very pretty.
it's a psychic dreadnought for 50 more points, I think.
It's a very pretty looking dreadnought.
Yeah,
got
it's
a
very
force
nice.
weapon.
Yeah, it's also got Advantium Will for some reason.
That and the force weapon away take it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just a pretty model.
But we are actually moved into units now.
Yeah.
The Castellax Archaea Battle Automata, whatever. It's a Castellax with
Psychic
Asphyx shells, and what else? Well, it's a usual, and then you can do psychic powers from it, so you get an increased range of psychic powers with it.
That's pretty nasty.
Well, you don't get increased range because it has to be in front of you, and you have to be in range of that to do psychic powers. But then extends the powers from it to whatever it can see within a certain range. The only problem is that if you suffer a Perils to Warp, it blows up or takes a hit or something. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, but I know you don't need to take a Cortex controller, but you don't need to be within 12 of it with a Psyker.
Which is pretty easy in this army.
Yeah. Also, you cannot have grenades or targeting arrays. So they can't lose those upgrades.
Yeah.
Tecma Terminators. They're 2 wound Terminators in Chiropractic or Tartarus. They have Asphyx shells, force weapons. You can up level 2 Psychic Brotherhood, and they can take powers from Pyromancy and Telekinesis. So, what's not to love? You have a Terminator unit that has a 4-weapon normal save or 3-weapon normal save, depending on what you take. You usually be taking Telekinesis because Pyromancy is not as useful.
Yeah. And they get to pick their powers because there's a stupid loophole in the bloody...
I'm guessing they have FAQ'd it at some point.
Don't think so.
Well, or you just...
House Rule.
Yeah, exactly. Then you got the Kenetai Occult Blade Cabal, which is the assault unit. Which
These guys are so cool.
Yeah, they got 2 Force Swords, they weapon skill 5, and they have they're level 1 Psychic Power Hood. You would probably just in Biomancy and hope to God you get Iron Arm or Warp Speed on them. Or just put a Librarian with Biomancy on in there, so they just become absolutely funny.
Yeah,
well, not funny, but...
To be fair, if you get Warp Speed and Iron Arm on them, you'd probably walk up to Primarchs and just remove them.
You probably could.
With a full squad.
Yeah.
They are so good. They get better the more they're in.
Yeah, you need... There are, I think the maximum number of them are 10.
Yeah.
But the 10 gets them the best buffs.
It's like +1 weapon skill.
No, I think it's more. Yeah, I think it gives you 2 of +3 attacks or something stupid.
Yeah. It's something silly. They're a
Yeah.
very good blender unit.
Then you got the Amatara Occult Intercession Cabal, which
These guys
is
piss me off.
these are just scouts with sniper rifles and shroud bombs.
They're Raven Guard in the wrong legion.
With stealth, move through cover, infiltrate, and scouts. And they also have a psychic power because they're level 1 psychics as well, which lets them reroll any failed hit or wound rolls and ignore cover. So they're just
Annoying as
cool.
hell.
yeah. On the characters, we've got Magistus Amon.
No one likes him.
I like him. He's level 3 with Corvidae or Athenian caster, which means you take one or the other,
Yeah.
or do you just... I never understood, do you pick one of the cults that he is in, or do you get both cults, and therefore like they benefit from both? I never understood, and it was never...
I think
To-
it means you can take your core things, which have to have the same cult as him, as either of them.
Alright,
So you can have a mix between the two, I think.
okay. He's got a Mastercrafted Force Sword, a Aerotech Fistal, and Litanies, because you have to have that. He's got Artificer Armor, so a 2-up save, a 4-up cover save, or adds 2 to any cover save he's in. So he has pretty much a 4-up Immortal save in pretty much every single condition, or a 2-up Immortal save in some
Yeah.
conditions. Because that's funny. He also gets a single attack, which is not a hitting D6 attack on a unit with 5 models or less. It becomes 2d6 on larger units with 6 or more in that unit. It's poison, strength 4 up. Well, not 4 up, but you need a 4 up to wound with it. It's AP 4 and concussive, which means it'll be much better against Mechanicum and Solar Auxilia and cults. Because that way you ignore armor save as well. And then he lets you reroll seize initiative, and any enemies that are attempting to outflank within 24 or deep strike can't do it because he just denies it.
That I don't like.
Yeah.
That goes against everything I stand for.
Also, his Warlord trait lets you take a 1 non-flyer, non-super heavy unit in a special reserve to arrive on a specific turn that you want after the first turn. So it just becomes any time you need it to, really, which is fun. The only problem is you cannot take him as a Warlord for God of the Crimson King, which annoys me. But you could probably take Magnus and him.
Yeah. Because that one's not exactly expensive, is he?
I can't remember. He's reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
We've got Azek Ariman, who's a level 4 Psyker. Can only take stuff from Corvidae, so Divination.
He hasn't branched out yet.
Well, yeah. He's a weapon with skill 5, generic Predator. He's got a Mastercrafted Force Axe, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's a big ass spear thing.
Yeah, it's an axe. He also has an Iron Halo, because of course he does. What else? You can take a command squad of veterans and make them Master Level 2 Psychers
That's cool.
for a number of points.
Is that just veterans or can you do it with the Terminators as well?
SP a command squad.
Oh, wait, he can. He can't take those Terminators because he's
No.
not wearing Terminator armor.
Also, they have to take the cult Arcana from Divination as well, so they're level
Yeah.
2 Divination guys. They give off he gives off a 6-inch Fearless Bubble from pinning. Oh wait. No, that's just the thing about command squads. Never mind that.
Yeah, because they've got the banner.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's it. Ironman also, with his Warlord trait, lets you infiltrate D3 units, so you can possibly have Scout on 3 units.
That's cool.
That's really nasty.
He's a good support.
He's the Teto Echo of 30k.
Pretty much.
Then we got Magnus the Red,
The big fuck up himself.
who is nearly as 5 points less than Horus, I think.
Yeah. But he is so ridiculously strong.
Yeah. He's a 6s on most stats. He has weapon skill 5, strength 5, plus skill 5. I mean, weapon skill 7, strength 7, plus skill 5, 4 attacks, leadership 10. And then he's a level 5 psyker. who harnesses all his warp charges on the free up, and can reroll any of the non-specific psychic disciplines and Santic, and he can actually use Santic Demology powers.
Which is cool. He would shut down World Bearers.
Yeah. Well, Word Bearers just take, and Hell follows with them and use Peril much more, so...
Yeah. But it'd still be funny to be like, oh, you have demons.
Yeah.
Sanctuary. Can't charge me.
Also, he can make any of his... If he uses up 2 more warp charges on top of a psychic power, so on top of its cost,
Yeah.
it makes it 2d6 more strength,
Yeah.
and it becomes a destroyer strength if it's more than 11 strength.
Yeah. If you get an 11 up, then it's D, which is ridiculous for the number of shades.
So
you
on
can
average,
throw.
you need at least a strength 4 spell
Yeah.
to do it, which is funny. Just destroys super heavies for
Yeah.
funsies. He's got a 2 up armor save and 4 up in marble save, and destroyer hits damage against him are reduced to 1 wound. So he doesn't die immediately after a destroyer hits him. Because I'm guessing he'll be a big target for them anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's -1 to hit him and his squad as well.
Yeah, that's the annoying bit. Is the fact that if you cast invisibility on him, or whatever it is now, mind thingy on
Yeah.
someone else, basically you can only be hit on 6s, and then with that you can only be hit on 7s, which no one can do.
Yeah.
So he just becomes immune to damage.
He also makes Thousand Suns fearless while in the unit that he's with, and he gets to reroll reserves. Lets all Thousand Suns use his leadership for morale, pinning, and leadership tests. For psychic powers as well. And he also makes Segment Terminator's troops. And then you can take troops ignoring cult restrictions, so they can be from any single cult.
Yeah.
But I don't know, do they... Can't remember if they benefit from the added +1 to your harness to warp rolls.
Yeah, because they are part of that cult.
Okay, yeah, alright.
Because obviously Magnus is from all of them, because he
Yeah.
mastered them all. But
Yeah, it's just when you have your war, like Predator or Ahriman or what's his face, Amon, and you take a cult that's not troops, you can't have to free up,
Yeah.
I think. Anyway.
Yeah, about the only way to reliably counter Magnus is either blow him off the table to begin with, or tarp him with cult horde units,
Yeah,
because otherwise he'll just psychic you to death.
yeah. He's
That
got
or Sister of Silence.
yeah. He's got +2 strength, AP1 weapon. I think he's the only other Primarch with an AP1 weapon. Or is he any other ones?
Vulcan's hammer.
Oh, is that
Gilliman's-
AP1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gilliman's
never
AP1.
mind. And then I was talking about something I didn't know.
Yeah,
then.
Vulcan Hammers.
Primarch's
one,
throw
and
AP1
it's
and 2
just
around a
straight-
lot.
Sure, I was just thinking of like Altharius having that AP1 weapon. But anyway, he's got a pistol that shoots mind bullets.
Mind bullet.
It's 15-inch range, but then strength 8 and AP2 and assault D3 and soul blaze. And they don't have any Swarm Brothers.
Yeah.
No one likes them.
Which is entertaining because in the fluff they did have quite a few friends like the Blood Angels and
Yeah.
Scars. But this just goes to show that the Scars are a lie.
No, we're just busy.
Yeah, in the other side of the universe. Or galaxy, what do you want to say? Anyway, that does it probably for us for this week.
Yeah, we shall wrap it up there.
Yeah.
And
More emails, please, to bbac@podcast@gmail.com, please. There's not around to say it again, but bbacpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll see what we get next time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Paul made a very good comment. He suggested that we actually do try broadcasting this live.
Yeah, about be on Twitch, and then I would rather have us like filming something while we're doing it.
We could film us doing stuff. Well, not weird stuff, but we could play games or like
We'll
sit
see
around
if it's
chatting.
Warhammer.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, Matt's here for the
Oh, yeah,
like
Matt's-
last 5 minutes.
For like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you.
Bye.
Bye.